Today, let's do a quick precious metals and crypto roundup brought to you by Ainslie Bullion and the Gold and Silver Standard. Use the time codes below to go to your favorite metal or crypto. We're going to be looking at gold, silver, and platinum, the gold to silver ratio quickly, and on the crypto side, Bitcoin, Ethereum, the Ethereum to Bitcoin ratio, and finally, a special request by one of our followers, one of our subscribers. We're going to look at XRP Ripple. Let's start with the precious metals again. Use the time codes below. My name is Joe. We're using the tradingview.com website. Gold here priced in US dollars, 1,980. Currently, you're looking at the weekly time frame. We're going to push out to the monthly time frame. And let's quickly go back to last week's video. I'm going to punch through these pretty quickly because we do have a few to get through. So do a quick overview of each. Last week's video was gold and silver's final hurdles, and we talked about specific prices we needed, or I personally needed to see gold and silver, etc., hold over and close for the month of October in order for me to be confident we are absolutely 100%, not just 99%, but 100% that we are on our merry way up. Let's see what happened in the last few days, I should say, since the video. 1,975, and what happened is we actually punched up, and I'll pop down to the daily right here, just in the last few days after that video. What happened is we pumped all the way over that line, and I'll pop in that final hurdle right there. That was this rectangular box. It was somewhere between 1,990 and 2,000. I wanted to see it close above for the month of October. We did peak above at 2008, 2010 roughly, but if you take a look on the monthly, we had that quick move back down. So we have closed below that target, that final hurdle target for gold on the monthly time frame. So I just have to stick with the evidence for now. Of course, very confident that I'm very confident this won't be a triple top. We're probably almost definitely, sailing through eventually, but I can't give you that 100% because we didn't close above that area for the month of October. What you might see, a red month so far, and it's only the first day, 1,980. Watch out for the fake out, so you could see it, support level around about that area, and then it's a fake out. Fooled you, and then we have a green candle for the month of November. So do take that into account. Fake outs do occur, particularly at the start of big time frames, so starts of months, etc. But also take into account, could be a red month for November. The level I'd be looking out for would be around about here. I'd say at 1,960, I'm going to call it, right about there. I'd want to see it hold 1,960 for the month of November in order for me to be confident that, it's just a little blip on the way, a healthy move. Look at that from October, from 1810 down to that area that I'd put in, a little bit ago, right smack on that support level there, all the way up. I mean, that's a huge move in 1 month. So a little red month for November, look, not out of the realm of possibility. So just do bear that in mind. Do want to see it hold above that 1960 level. Absolutely need to see it if we do break through 1960. I really want to see that 1920, 1930 level right there. That's an old Fibonacci level if you take from an old high and a very old low. So that 1920, 1930 level, got to hold above that and close above that absolutely for the month of November in order for me to say still confident that we're on our way upward. Below there, you'd be looking at this downtrend line somewhere, but let's leave that for now. So far, probably just possibly a red month for November, but again, first day of the month, so watch out for that fake out too. So those are my levels to watch out for gold, but the takeaway from this is not 100%. That final hurdle for me personally has not been jumped over and successfully jumped over, I should say. So that is gold. Again, we're going to punch through these pretty quickly. Silver, pretty similar kind of scenario right here. The final hurdle I had, we were nowhere near going to come to the final hurdle at the end of this month, but the final hurdle I've had right here for me is at around about $31.20. It's based on an old Fibonacci high of back in 1980 and the lows of the early 90s. That's just my personal hurdle. If you have a lower one, absolutely, that's your prerogative. And of course, nothing I say here is financial advice or necessarily the opinion of Ainslie. Some people may see that $26 level as the big final hurdle. For me, huge hurdle right there, but the final one, definitely that 31.20. Of course, we haven't hit over that since last week's video, but here we are at $22.70 roughly in the last couple of days. We made that move up to, again, okay, so I had this level right here of $23.50. This was drawn in from a couple of weeks ago after we had this little spike here. We broke out of this downtrend line, came down to that, what do you know, that Fibonacci level of $20.70 roughly. That's an old Fibonacci level. Again, from the old highs, I'll just show you very quickly right here. For me, the power of Fibonacci is very, very interesting. Again, from the old highs of 1980 to the old lows of the early 90s. It's just pretty crazy. So we came down to that level. Let me pop back onto the daily. And since then, what you can see right here is we did have that move up to that resistance level that I thought we might find resistance at, and we certainly did. Back down to test this downtrend line at around about that $22.50 level right there. That was an area of support which I had put in, kind of almost hit it, and then a double top so far, so back up to that $23.50 level, heading back down. It looks like at the moment, again, I want to see that $22.50, $22.40 level remain support, preferably if we break through there, coming back to test this downtrend line again. If we break through there, then back down to this $20.70 level. Could that be a double bottom? You never know. Of course, what I want to see it break above $23.50 and then make a play for this downtrend line right here. So that's the basic silver price analysis for me for this week. As I said last week, got a break above $23.50, got a break above here, and of course you're looking at that big 26 level hurdle. Again, not the final hurdle, but that's a big one at $26. Let's take a look at the gold to silver ratio. So we're creeping up on the gold to silver ratio. So that means when this is going up, that means gold is outperforming silver. When this is going down, silver is outperforming gold. Let's take a look at it on the monthly time frame. On the monthly, we've opened, gold is outperforming silver at the moment. It's coming to a crucial point. If you can see that right here, pop it on the weekly and let me pop in. Are we on log scale? We are on log scale. That's good. Let's pop in a trend line right here. We'll take it just from the peaks and we'll pop it down there. Okay, so what we've seen here is a breakout in the gold to silver ratio in gold's favor, breaking out of this downtrend line. This is when we went up to 125, 1 to 125 in the gold to silver ratio. That was crazy. A break through here. So I can see a move up to around about here, the 90 to 93 level on the gold to silver ratio. And then possibly a move back down to test this downtrend line. So far, gold is looking like it is outperforming silver at the moment. On the relative strength index on the weekly time frame, you can see it's heading in the upward direction as well, which says that a move, again, more to this 90 area is more probable. Therefore, gold will probably continue to outperform silver in the next few weeks at least. Let's pop it into the monthly time frame. And on a similar note, it's opened the month green so far. Again, be aware of fake outs, okay, at the start of big time frames. On the relative strength index, it's above its average, and it looks like it's starting to trend up. So on balance of probability, gold to outperform silver in the next few weeks to month. Roughly, we'll keep it at that. That's gold and silver and the gold to silver ratio. Let's take a quick look at platinum. We did miss it last week. Not a lot to tell. Of course, this is the big macro view here, the big downtrend line from February of 2008. We've tried to break out a few times, failed moves every time, then fast moves to the downside. We did remain above this support level I had here around about $840. So we did successfully hold above that. That's a good sign. It's a bit of a no man's land for platinum at the moment. We're still below this trend line, although it looks like we may be coming up to test it. We have to just basically get above this trend line here and hold above it for at least 2 green candles for me, at least, and then come back and test support, and then on our merry way up. So 930, but a decent move from 850, 860 roughly to $930. That's really as much as I can say for platinum at the moment, just in a bit of a holding pattern. Post a comment below. Are you bullish on platinum in the long term? We posted a video on Facebook just recently about which metal do you think would be the one that outperforms all the others in the next 10 years. A few people said platinum, and that was very interesting. I asked their opinions, and post your comment below as well. Which do you think is going to outperform in the next 10 years? Is it going to be silver the winner, gold the winner? Could it be platinum? Post your comments below, and more importantly, let me know your reasons why. Really, that's platinum right here. Hold that 840 level preferably, and hopefully we just make a move back above. The Fibonacci levels, the next level, major level of resistance, if we do break above this long-term downtrend line, you can see it right here, around about that 1,110 US dollar level will be an area of resistance in my opinion. And the big level of resistance right here is 1,340 US dollars. Will that come sooner rather than later? Post a comment below and let me know your thoughts. Okay, and if we break down here, I'll just show you right here, $840, you've got the level of 750. So again, kind of no man's land holding pattern for platinum at the moment. So that is the precious metals. Let's take a look at crypto. It's been a little bit of time. We're going to look at Bitcoin, Ethereum, and again XRP as the special request, and we will do the Ethereum to Bitcoin ratio. That's an interesting one to look at the moment. Let's start with Bitcoin right here. That's the Binance one. No, I don't want that one. I want the index right here. Okay, so let's look at the big picture. So this is the index. This one goes all the way back to 2009. Okay, this is the big picture macro look. This is the monthly time frame. I will need to punch in a little bit. What I've got drawn in here, see these vertical blue lines, they're the halvings. So that was the 2016 halving, the 2020 halving, and this is the upcoming roughly a 2024 halving roughly in April next year of 2024. I need to pop into the weekly just to show you a particular trend line. What you can see here very, very clearly is this uptrend line right here going through these points, and very clearly we did not close above this uptrend line for the month of October. Really wanted to see it close above at around about somewhere above sort of 36,000 would have been preferable in order for me to be confident to say, oh, look, 100% we are moving in an upward direction in the month of November and then December, etc. Not there quite yet. As you can see, we closed at just underneath. We closed at about 34,500 US dollars. So far, we've opened the week green, but if we look at the monthly time frame, we've just opened green as well. Let me see how closely I can get in. So we opened right there, $34,530. Bear in mind, as I've always said, and I keep saying, watch out for the fake outs. So again, this is on the monthly time frame. Could we have a little fake out and then a pump and then we close above at least 36,000 for the month of November? Absolutely. Be aware of the fact that we have yet to test on the monthly time frame. We have back tested yet this area here of around about 30,000 to 31,000 US dollars. So keep in mind here, you had this low move back in, where are we, September, all the way down to 25,000 US dollars. Since then, a huge move. October was a big month for Bitcoin, closing it around about that 35, but it failed to hold. So a move back here, and I'll just show you on the weekly time frame, a move back here would not be surprising. So if it did come back to, say, around about 31,500, anywhere down to the bottom of this box, and I'd say at around about 29.5 to 30,000 US dollars, I wouldn't be worrying that we're heading down to $10,000. Okay, so a healthy move for a month of November, if it's a red month, back down to that 31 to 30,000 US dollars, I wouldn't stress about that. Could be a buying opportunity. Just bear in mind we have yet to close above. So while we are very bullish on crypto on the long term, you've got to look at the weight of evidence. Just on the monthly, didn't close above. So just keep that in mind. If we do sail straight through for the month of November, and it's a really great month, a big green candle, and also December, the next key level that I'm looking at is around about your 48,000 US dollar mark. I think I've had that drawn in before. Let me pop that back in. Right about here, I could see it if we have a great few months for Bitcoin before the Bitcoin halving. I could potentially see it top out around about that 48 to 50,000 US dollar mark before potentially a bit of a profit taking. And what you have tended to find before Bitcoin halvings is that there is a rise and then a bit of a sell-off before the next move upwards. So that was a pretty close one, actually. So back here in June of 2016, you actually topped out. You had a couple of months before the halving, a couple of red months right there. Then you had that big move up to $20,000. And then similarly here, you had this move to 14, and then you had this move to 10. So a rise before the Bitcoin halving, and then a pre-selling of the Bitcoin halving, and then that move. So potentially you might see a move up to that 48 to 50 before we have a little bit of a sell-off back down, and then after the halving, pretty darn confident that we see higher prices from there. So just bear in mind that 30 to 31,000 US dollar mark. I know it's very hard to see right here because we didn't close above that 35, 36 level for October. So a red month, quite possible. Just don't be surprised if you do, but don't panic. If it does, might be a great buying opportunity. And again, that 48 to 50 level as an area of resistance before the halving. If you have a differing opinion, again, post your comments below. I like to hear differing opinions. That is Bitcoin. Let's take a look at Ethereum. Then we'll take a look at the Ethereum to Bitcoin ratio. A very important one to look at the moment if you're in crypto. Let's take a look at the index right here. Now, actually, sorry, let me go back because I wanted to show you the relative strength index on Bitcoin. So what you can see here on the weekly time frame, we've started to head into overbought territory, and technically we're just peeking into extremely overbought territory down here. But this is on the weekly time frame. If I show you the monthly time frame, on the monthly time frame, we're definitely in the direction of moving higher, but on the weekly, we're just in that sort of extremely overbought territory. Now, I'm showing you that against Ethereum on the weekly time frame. Let's take a look at that's the Binance price. We want the index price. The weekly time frame, we actually have a bit of room to move. On the weekly, you can see it's trending up on the relative strength index, hopefully, heading into more overbought territory. So there's a bit more room to move for Ethereum versus Bitcoin, but we'll get to that in just a second when I show you the Ethereum to Bitcoin ratio. So right here at 1,817 US dollars, we're hanging right about around, it's almost exact, a key Fibonacci level that I've drawn in. Again, if you have differing Fibonacci levels, the starting point and the end point, of course, that will give you different targets, but I'm taking it from the old high of around about your 4,800 to the old low of around about 880, and you have these Fibonacci levels. I think for me, they're the ones I'm going to stick with. We are finding resistance around about that 1,850 level. That is at the 0.236, but things won't really kick off for me. It's looking positive, but things won't really kick off for me until we break above and hold above the roughly $2,000 to $2,020 mark, US dollar mark for Ethereum. So a good positive direction. We're moving in the right direction on the relative strength index. And again, against Bitcoin, we have a bit more of a room to move before we get into overbought territory. If we pop it on the monthly time frame, let's see here on the relative strength index, I'll just have to zoom this in for you, what you can very clearly see. And we spoke about this last time, I think, when we did Ethereum, the fact that we had finally broken above the average on the monthly time frame. We had that move, which took us up to that $2,050 mark. And then we had a move back down on the fiat dollar currency, is around about 1,540 up here. But we came smack back down to the average, and we were hoping that we'd bounce off it. And so far we have. So that's a good sign for Ethereum as well. We broke out of the average and we back tested it, came back to test, and then it bounced off as well. And looks like it's moving in the right direction so far. So bear all of that in mind when you place trades, or if you're just dollar cost averaging, well, that's just a great thing to do too. So bear in mind this area, we're not out of the woods just yet. So very positive on Ethereum. Positive on crypto here, and precious metals, of course, but positive on crypto too. Personally, I really need to see it head above that and close above that $2,000 to $2,020 level in order to say we're definitely on our way upwards. If you want to pause this video and you can see those specific targets on the way up, those would be key levels of resistance that I would keep in mind as we're moving, if we are on our way up for Ethereum. I'll give you the big price targets just for the moment in case I don't do Ethereum for a while. After, hopefully, we break the all-time high of $4,850. The next one for me is the 1.618 level of 7,200 to 7,300. And of course, everyone talks about the mythical $10,000. That's a big psychological value. What you tend to find is that you overshoot a little bit. So look at the difference between 10,000 US dollars. It'll be a big deal when we break that, but you could see it overshoot, and I favor the 2.618 Fibonacci here. Again, from this high and this low, that's around about $1,103, so $300, so $11,300 roughly. So you could see it shoot above that $10,000 mark and have a spike above, or wick above, to that area. That's my humble opinion, of course, not financial advice and all that. So that's Ethereum. I really need to see it hold above that $2,000 level, breaking down further. If we do, I would want to see it hold and find support at around that 1350 level. I'll put that in as a level of support. Breaking down through 1350, I'd say we'd be making a play for 880. So really want to hold it. So that's my line in the sand right there, 1,350 US dollars. And we're definitely on our way and upwards is the 2,000 to 2,020 US dollar mark for Ethereum. So just in that no man's land at the moment, but looking positive based on the relative strength index on the weekly and monthly time frame. Now let's take a look at what I really want to show you. One of the things I want to show you was the Ethereum to Bitcoin ratio. So as this goes up, Ethereum is outperforming Bitcoin. As this goes down, Bitcoin is outperforming Ethereum. So what you can see right here, of course, we had that huge move where Ethereum was the flavor of the year, basically in 2017, and we had that move up to 0.015 right there, and this move back down to 0.0. Let me start that again. It was 0.15 in its heyday, in its peak 0.15, and then down here at about 0.015, 0.016. So a big move down. So Ethereum underperforming Bitcoin, or Bitcoin outperforming Ethereum, I should say. What that did though, it created this trend line right here, and it has so far respected it all the way since September of 2019. We had a touch point here in January of 2021, and just in the last month, in the month of October, we had a touch point right here. It closed almost right bang on this trend line, and many people believe, of course not financial advice, all that, many people believe that could be an area where Ethereum may start to take over and start outperforming again Bitcoin. So if you're into cryptos and you're only sticking to the big ones, let's say Bitcoin, Ethereum, maybe XRP, some of the bigger ones, you really want to consider watching the Bitcoin to Ethereum ratio. Now, if you just buy Bitcoin and you hold it, I'm sure you're going to be doing fine over time. But if you want to try and maximize your investments, etc., people watch the Bitcoin to Ethereum ratio just like they watch the gold to silver ratio. So the Ethereum to Bitcoin ratio is your gold to silver ratio of the crypto world. Many people believe that this area will hold. My opinion, it looks like a great area to hold. And if you're buying Ethereum here, or if you're swapping some Bitcoin for Ethereum here, around about here, it's a pretty low risk to reward play. I could see it coming down a little bit further if it does. Here's my personal targets. Again, not financial advice. If we do break this uptrend line right here, you have this rectangular box, and I would say somewhere between the 0.04 to 0.03. 0.03, probably not as likely. I would say maybe 0.04 is about right. You can see it's a level of resistance here and a level of resistance here. I've only put that in just in case there's a quick wick down. Maybe something like the Bitcoin ETFs, a whole bunch of them being approved at the one time, which then Bitcoin flies and Ethereum just doesn't really move. But therefore you see this ratio move down because Bitcoin's outperforming Ethereum. You could see it come down to here. More unlikely, but I think here would be around about the bottom at 0.04. That's my opinion. But anyone, if you're buying Ethereum here to try and get more Bitcoin later on, if it's around about this 0.05 level, around about here, I think you're just fine. You can wait if you want and wait for that 0.04, but around this area, you're probably in good stead, in my humble opinion. So let's talk about moving higher. For now, we've talked about moving lower around that 0.04, maybe 0.03, but probably not. If we just continue higher and higher, and Ethereum outperforms Bitcoin in the next few months and in this next crypto cycle, what are the next big targets? I've taken this Fibonacci level again from this old high 0.15 and the old low of 0.016, and you can see how they've actually respected the Fibonacci pretty darn well. Again, Fibonacci for the win right here. Came up close. So this is the 0.5 mark, the 50% mark, and that's at 0.05 Ethereum to Bitcoin ratio. And you can see it's been a level of resistance for a while, around about that 0.8 to 0.85 level. And we came back again, Fibonacci, look at this. We came back to test right on the money at the 0.236 at 0.05, roughly right there. I find Fibonacci to be quite predictive. Again, the reasons why remains to be seen, but it does seem to be predictive. If you disagree, post a comment below. And right here, so that next level, right here, we have to break above here of that 0.07. That would be an area of resistance. Right here, this is the big one for me. So this is the final hurdle for me, and I'll pop that right here in a big blue line. Ethereum to Bitcoin right here at 0.085. So until we break above 0.085 and hold above it on the monthly time frame, you can see right here we've never held monthly. We've never had a green candle holding above 0.085. Until we do that, I'm in no man's land. I'm more bullish on Ethereum for the next crypto cycle than I am for Bitcoin. I think Ethereum will continue to outperform Bitcoin, in my humble opinion. Again, this is a decent area to get into Ethereum at the moment, but the absolute 100% confirmation is when it breaks that 0.085 mark. So maybe you want to pop that in to your own chart. You can also pause this or take a screenshot of this as well. When we break and hold above that on the monthly time frame, then for me it's game on. The next levels I'm looking at is the 0.1 area, so 1/10 of a Bitcoin Ethereum would be worth. Right here, look at this Fibonacci right there. Again, that's from that high and that low. The Fibonacci level 0.125. Of course, the all-time high of 0.15. But the next ones I just really want to show you right here. probably the next big one for me is the 1.618 here at the 0.25. That's quarter of a Bitcoin. I think that will be a huge level right here. So I'll pop that one in as well. That's right there. So I think when we get to, if we get to Ethereum being worth 1/4 of a whole Bitcoin, I think a lot of people will be looking at swapping a good portion of their Ethereum back into Bitcoin around this area. I'm normally a fan of the 2.618 being higher, like big peak targets, but the 1.618 right here at quarter of a Bitcoin, that seems quite psychological for me. So I would expect some big profit taking in Ethereum or profit taking transferring into Bitcoin at that point right there. So that's my opinion with the Ethereum to Bitcoin ratio. Bullish on it. You may want to wait till 0.04, but around here is a good time to consider Ethereum outperforming Bitcoin on the longer term. That is Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Ethereum Bitcoin ratio. Finally, let's do our request of the week, the month, etc. We're going to look at XRP, Ripple, good old XRP and Ripple. Now, many people have differing opinions on it. Some people feel that it could be part of the next big financial system. If you're one of those people, post a comment below. Some people just trade it and they don't think it's going to be that kind of big deal. But let's just take a look at the price. What you can see here, very much in still this symmetrical triangle pattern right here at 60 cents currently. On the positive side, and we'll take a look at the monthly time frame which we're on, we're still above its average, which is good, and looks like we're moving in the direction heading towards overbought territory. We're not above this level yet, so I would remain, I'm not going to say I'm bullish or bearish on Ethereum. And for the person that did request this, sorry about that. I will remain on the fence because for me, at least on the monthly time frame, I need to see it move above on the relative strength index, this 54, 55 mark right there, in order for me to say, oh look, the direction is definitely heading towards that overbought territory on the monthly time frame. And again, we're at the bottom end of this symmetrical triangle pattern. What we do see on the positive side, however, we'll take a look at the weekly time frame. You can see this trend line right here has been broken out of, and we have had also a retest. So that's a good move. We have also pretty much respected this trend line right there. So you can see we formed a couple of peaks right there. We broke out, came up to 90 cents, almost a buck for XRP, for Ripple, and then a nice retest, and so far, and we've moved above this level right here of that 58, 59 cents. Looking good on the weekly time frame though. Bear in mind, on the relative strength index, we have already moved into extremely overbought. So we did start heading down, although, and this is why I'm being very fence sitting for XRP for the moment, what you can see on the weekly time frame, on the weekly time frame here on the relative strength index, we've moved back above the average right here. So it looks like we may be heading in the upward direction. So here are the price targets we need to watch out for. Of course, we really need to stay above this uptrend line right here. If it breaks around in the next couple of weeks, you're looking at around about 45 to 46 US cents, and we just really need to eventually break out of the top end of this symmetrical triangle pattern. Depends when it hits, but you can call around about your $1.20 to $1.25 roughly need to break out, and then come back and retest and hold that level. So I want to hear your opinions on XRP in terms of its price, but also in terms of its movements within the financial system. Again, a lot of people talk about XRP could be part of the new financial system. Are you one of those people? Post a comment below and let me know the reasons why. My understanding is it has to do with the SWIFT system. So if you're one of those people who's really into that side of things of XRP, post a comment below and let me know why you think XRP is going to be, possibly one of the big standards for, a potential new financial system. Look, if we do break down further, if we break down through this pattern right here. The next significant level, let me pop that in. I'd be looking in an area of support of pretty clearly. You can see it right there. It's around about the, I'll call it the, right about here. I'm going to call it around about 25 US cents. So if we do fall off the cliff, look at 25 US cents as around about a support level for me. Shall we do some blue sky thinking just to have some fun? Why not? Let's grab the Fibonacci levels. Let's see. I haven't done this yet, actually. Let's see if Fibonacci has also worked for XRP. Has it been at all predictive? What I'll do, I'll go back and take it from the really old high. So this is the very first old high, and this is back in 2013. Goodness me, and that's at around about 7 cents. So let's take it from the old high and the old low. Where's a decent low? I'd say around about here is good, around about, that's 1/4 of a cent. Goodness me. Let's see, has that worked out? Wow, okay. Look at that. Okay, I swear I didn't do this beforehand. Okay, the magic of Fibonacci. Okay, so the old high, this is again back in 2013, this rough low, I could have done it there, but that's, yeah, I feel that's a little bit better. You can see that support level touch there, that's a support level there, so I think that's the more likely one, and it seems to be, because look at that. After this low, you had this move back up, look at that on a Fibonacci line, but look at this. Remember that high, that interim high back in 2017, the heady days of XRP, and look at that, right on this Fibonacci area. This is the 6.854 from this old high and this old low, but look how Fibonacci has been quite well respected. And then it was support at the 1.618 Fibonacci, again from this very old high and very old low, 2013 and 2015 roughly. And look at that, the all-time high of $3.30 is around about at a very key Fibonacci level. Again, from this old high and this old low. Has it respected it since then? It looks like it's done it pretty well. You can see after the high, again, it's not exact, but it's around about that area. You can see right here, that comes back to the old high here. You can see a support level around that. So it's looking pretty good. Okay, if we were to, and look at that right there as well, the support level, look at that touch at that 30-cent level there. That's a Fibonacci level. Okay, interesting. If we were to continue to use this old high, I don't think I would, but if we continue this old high and this old low for future prices, then what you can do is you can just pause this video right now or take a screenshot, and you can see them exactly right here, the next levels that you may find resistance at, or possible top signals for XRP. That's if you're basing it on this old high and this old low. The other one you would consider doing, because we have since made a big new high and a big new low, you might want to get rid of this and actually move it to this old high right here, this, or newer high I should say, and the low right here. So the high of roughly $3.30 and the low of roughly 10 US cents. Let's keep it there, close enough. And you could pause that and have a look at those. That remains to be seen. Has Fibonacci played out well from this old high and this old low? Well, that's the high, that's the low. Let's see, you can see, I'll get rid of these for a second. Let me get rid of that, and I'll get rid of that, just so you can see it a little bit better. That looks pretty good too. So this old high and this old low, you can see we had an interim high at around about, you found resistance at this, that's actually pretty good. This is on the weekly time frame. You can see a spike above, but some resistance here at the $1.70 level. That's the 50% level, again from this high and this low down here. And did we find support anywhere? You found more resistance here at the 0.236. Well, so I'll get rid of this for a second as well. What you can see right here is we're right in between the first two Fibonacci levels. So that's the 0 level, and that's the first one here at 0.236. And just recently, back in July of this year, you've also seen that as resistance resistance once again. So, you could do either. I'll stick with this for now. Again, hopefully you screenshotted that previous one so you could see those levels. It might respect that very old Fibonacci levels, but I'll stick with this one for now. That looks pretty predictive as well. Again, we're just in the no man's land between the 0 and the 0.236 right here. But once we get above this level of the 90-cent level, the 0.236, you may find that these levels act as areas of price confluence again. So you're talking about your $1.40 roughly, your $1.80, of course, up to the all-time high of that sort of $3.30, $3.50 area, and moving higher, what you might expect is the 1.618 of $5.50 and the 2.618. I do favor those, the 1.618 and the 2.618, at around about $8.90, call it $9 for XRP, if, of course, XRP is going to go absolute great guns in this next crypto cycle as well. So those are a couple of Fibonacci levels, again, a really old one and a more newer one for XRP, and that's my quick little XRP. Thank you for asking for that. If you disagree with those targets, post a comment below. Many people believe it could go to, $10,000 XRP, again, because of that it could be a whole new part of the big financial system. Post a comment below. Are you one of those people? Post a comment and let us know why in particular. That is your precious metals and crypto roundup. It is Wednesday the 1st of November. Really wanted to do this big precious metals and crypto roundup because we're at the start of a brand new month. Let's see what this month holds. Do you think it will be a green month across the board for both precious metals and crypto? Let me know. So what I'd like you to do is please subscribe to the channel. Also, please be aware, in terms of the crypto land, we're actually going to be at the Oz CryptoCon in Melbourne between the 11th and the 12th of November. If you go to ozcryptocon.com, we'll be there. We'll have a booth. We're talking about the fact that we do crypto by buying and selling, of course, so Ainslie Crypto will be there, and also representatives of the gold silver standard as well. So I might even pop my head in there, quite possibly, because it's I've never been to I've never been to a CryptoCon actually. So this could be my first one, and being in Melbourne, that might be a short hop, skip, and a jump for me. So you never know, you might see me there quite possibly on one of those days. So if you're into crypto, the Oz CryptoCon might be something that you'd want to check out, and make sure you find us, Ainslie, there in one of the booths. And of course, I'd love you to subscribe to the channel, youtube.com/Ainslie Bullion, for everything that we do. Thanks for watching this precious metals and crypto roundup. Balance your wealth in an unbalanced world. Take care. We'll see you next time.